Hey there and welcome back to XCOM. My name is Pete and today we complete episode 14 of our XCOM Enemy Within Ironman Impossible walkthrough. Once again, before we begin, I have a small announcement to make because just yesterday we launched the official Pete Complete Discord. It will be Patreon exclusive for now, but if you are a supporter of the Pete Complete Patreon, make sure to connect your Discord account to your Patreon account to gain access. If you don't have a Discord account yet, don't worry, creating one is very easy, and supporting me on Patreon is very easy as well, although it is of course entirely up to you. I just wanted to let you know that we now have a Discord and we already had some good conversation yesterday, so maybe I'll see a few of you join in the next few days. Now, on to the episode at hand, and our first task in today's episode was already decided for us in the last video, where we discovered another round of alien abductions. Taking a closer look, we can see that Brazil, France and Australia have been hit. Brazil offers 4 engineers as a reward, very useful considering that we need engineers to build the next satellite uplink. However, for that purpose, a workshop is already in construction. In France, panic levels are a bit more pressing and we could receive 4 scientists for going there, certainly not a bad reward either. Lastly then, we once again have the lovely city of Brisbane in Australia, which offers a straight cash reward. Now, to make an informed decision, let's also take a quick look at our panic map. And we can see here that Brazil can handily take an abduction, the 3-point panic increase would not be an immediate problem for the country, and I am planning to give them a satellite soon anyway, so despite the engineer reward, we probably don't have to go there. The situation in France, meanwhile, and the entirety of Europe for that matter, looks a little different. Not going there would cause France and the UK to panic, while Germany would move up to panic level 4. That is certainly not catastrophic, as we will be able to launch 4 satellites at the end of the month, but it might complicate things when we get the second round of abductions later this month. Australia, meanwhile, can once again take the 3-point hit from the abduction, and even though panic in Japan and India would increase by 1 point as well, we still have some leeway. The reward from Australia is also not as useful in my opinion compared to the scientists we could get from France, so let's go to France. That seems like the most sensible decision. Now, for this mission we will change our squad a bit. For achievement reasons we will make sure to keep our original 4 of Adam, Emilia, Roselius and Andrea, but we can probably expand George Teasdale for this one and instead take our new MEC Trooper Nicholas Mahoney. In the last episode we also bought 5 suits of carapace armor, so let's equip those before we head out. You can see here the default armor gives a 1 point HP bonus, the carapace armor meanwhile increases that to +4, at least for most of our squad. Assault Adam Work has the Heavy Conditioning perk, which actually boosts his armor bonus to a whopping +8, and Heavy Shoji Jang currently sits at 10 hit points even without armor, so starting with this mission we are bringing a much more heavily protected crew along, and let's see what they can do.
Central, Big Sky in position on approach of the abduction site. Strike 1 is awaiting drop clearance.
Copy that, Big Sky. Strike 1 is cleared to engage hostile targets. Watch your backs out there, people.
Right, our map here is the research outpost, consisting of 3 buildings, a small shack, a medium-sized facility, and then a big building with several rooms right ahead of us. The map has plenty of full cover available, and let's start by getting Emilia into some, so that she can peek around the corner and through the window here to check for enemies. However, the room seems clear, and so does the alley to Emilia's right, so let's scout the other side with Mr. Wargull.
I'm on it, Commander.
Looking around the corner, he also doesn't reveal any hostiles, so he can use the battle scanner now to expand his vision. And we'll throw it right in front of the open entrance to the small shack over here, so that it can reveal enemies hiding inside. That is not the case, however, so for now, the area around us seems to be relatively safe. Looking over the map, I also found the first melt location in the shadows here. I normally try not to look for those, but once spotted you can't really unsee it. So now that we know where that is, let's get the rest of our squad moving towards it, starting with Heavy Zhang and Assault Work, who can both use their dashes to get closer to the door leading into the next room. Heavy Andrea Cook will remain outside for now, so that we have someone on overwatch, while our mech Nicholas Mahoney joins Shoji and Adam.
Heading to that location.
And in doing so, he now improves their defense, because as a former support, Nicholas has the Distortion Field ability, giving every ally in his vicinity a +10 bonus to defense. All that is left to do to end our turn now is to put Emilia on overwatch, and let's see if we catch any movement. That is not the case, however, so let's get closer to the meld, once again starting with Emilia. She remains outside, hiding in the corner here, which on the next turn might give her a good flanking opportunity should there be enemies in the room ahead of us. With Rosilius we can occupy the spot behind the window here. Keep in mind that half cover counts as full for him, so he is well protected here and can go on Overwatch. With Assault at him work, we will then get into a breaching position next to the door here, but for now he remains on Overwatch as we will wait one more turn until everyone is in position. Speaking of which, Andrea here can now dash to catch up with Emilia so that we have a bit more firepower over on that side, while Heavy Shoji Jang joins Adam at the door. Everyone who can will go on Overwatch now, and so will our MEC Trooper Nicholas Mahoney, but not before we haven't moved him into a slightly more advantageous position, because from here his distortion field now also covers Emilia and Andrea. On the alien's turn we then hear noise over to our left, but we don't see any movement, so let's continue our push towards the meld for now. Now this next room is fairly large, so chances are high that we run into some enemies here, and opening the front door might not be the best way to reveal them, because they will probably scurry away to the back of the room. For that reason we will actually move Emilia over to the other entrance here, which might result in any hostiles moving into a bit more of an advantageous position for us. And that seems to be the case as we stumble upon a nest of 3 Thin Men, who have now indeed moved very close to our main breaching point. Let's open the door here to not lose sight of them, keeping in mind that at least one of them is also very close to the meld, so we need to be careful here not to destroy that. However, after some careful planning, I think I found the perfect solution for this group, and it comes in the form of MEC Trooper Nicholas Mahoney. Nicholas can advance right over to the corner here, and then we can make use of his built-in flamethrower. That thing does exactly 6 points of damage, enough to kill a Thin Man, and thanks to its cone-shaped area of effect, it is actually able to hit all 3 of them. So let's get this mission started by roasting some Thin Man, as we decimate our first group of aliens here with only one single action. Now the 3 dead Thin Men have left their signature poison clouds, which might make getting to the meld a bit more complicated, however not for Emilia. She carries the med kit, so she is immune, so let's dash her over there and then she can grab the meld on the next turn. Since we heard movement on our left earlier, we will definitely not move Rosilius any further now. Instead, he can switch over to the sniper rifle and remain on Overwatch. Our breaching squad of Adam and Shoji will then move from one door to the other. They didn't really get involved at all this time, but of course I'm not complaining. Andrea, meanwhile, will also catch up with the rest of the group and stay behind the door. That way she might be able to launch a rocket to the other side.
Location confirmed.
And that completes our turn, but once again we have no alien activity in sight, so before we do anything else, let's grab the meld with Emilia. And with that first container collected, I think it is now time to take a look outside, so let's open the door with Adam here to see what we can reveal.
Eyes on target.
Alright, more Thin Men, another group of 3, and they are once again making it relatively easy for us, because 2 of them have taken cover in the immediate vicinity of the front of the truck here. If we can get that to explode, that would be a guaranteed double kill. The 3rd Thin Man is probably a bit too far away though. Now we could solve this very easily with a rocket from Shoji, but that would be the rocket consumed and I don't know what other types of enemies might be waiting for us. So instead, let's once again employ the services of our MEC Trooper Nicholas Mahoney. Now, besides the flamethrower, which he can only use twice per mission, Nicholas also has the Collateral Damage ability, which he can use an unlimited amount of times for the cost of a full magazine. This ability destroys cover and does up to 2 points of damage, and destroying cover includes anything that can explode. And there we go, kills number 4 and 5 for Nicholas on this mission, and we also unlock the Nice Cover achievement. He did only do 1 point of damage to the 3rd Thin Man, but I already have a plan for that. Now that our front line has moved a bit, we can safely move Rosilius up to the roof here. He won't be able to use his sniper rifle now, but switching over to the pistol we can see that he has a more or less guaranteed hit. He probably won't be able to do 5 points of damage though, but I know someone who can do a guaranteed 4, and that would be Heavy Andrea Cook using 1 of her 2 grenades. And yes, I know we could have saved the collateral damage here, but I wanted to show it off, grab the achievement and get Nicholas a few quick kills. And here we are, that is the Thin Man down to only 1 hit point. Let's take aim with Rosilius now and hopefully land the killing blow. And with that, we have now defeated our second group of enemies, and we even got our first regular kill that did not involve an explosion or the flamethrower, which unfortunately both destroy weapon fragments, so we want to keep that in mind. Moving on, we can now slightly advance with Shoji-Jang, but not too much, to avoid revealing any more aliens on this turn. Both he and Adam can go into half cover here and go on Overwatch. Adam will use the pistol for that, however. Emilia then takes Adam's old position and also overwatches, ending our turn. The aliens then send a third group of thin men our way, admittedly not the most exciting strategy, and we even do 1 point of damage with Adam's pistol overwatch. A few seconds later, Shoji also takes aim, but his volley hits the brick wall of the building that all 3 thin men now use as cover. The one we fired at retreats back into the shadows, another one has taken a position behind the window, and number 3 is hiding on the rooftop. And because of its elevated position, that third one is arguably also the most dangerous one, so let's focus on it first. Rosilius already has a pretty decent shot with a sniper rifle, but we comfortably outnumber our enemies and I don't want to take risks, so let's improve his chances even further by sending Shoji out, who from here can take a shot at the thin man on the roof, which activates holo-targeting. He even lands a hit, only doing 4 points of damage, but that's more than okay, because holo-targeting has now improved Rosilius' chance to hit by 10% to an almost guaranteed 98, which should hopefully be enough to get the kill. Alright, 1 down, 2 more to go, and this time we will use a rocket, simply because there is a bit too much ground to cover, and I'm not quite sure that this is in fact the last group of enemies. We can't hit both thin men with 1 rocket, but we can get ourselves explosive kill number 43 of this playthrough and reduce our opposition to 1 already injured opponent. And for that one, we will now wait patiently. Adam moves into full cover and remains on pistol overwatch. Emilia joins him just a few meters away and also keeps an eye out, while Nicholas gets out of the line of fire, gives everyone a small defense bonus, and reloads his main weapon. The thin man immediately goes for the counterattack, but instead of actually taking a shot at our troops, it uses up all of its turn to move. A fatal decision, I think I can say that with some confidence. We also identified the rough location of the second melt container, but let's not worry about that for now. We have another thin man to deal with, and MEC Trooper Nicholas Mahoney did such a good job with the 2 groups before, let's give him another kill. Unfortunately, as he moves into position, he reveals 2 Seekers, probably the last enemies on this map, who immediately go into stealth mode and vanish. But that should not derail our plans, so let's start our second alien barbecue and go for another guaranteed kill with the flamethrower, which conveniently ignores the thin man's cover. And now we can move on to the Seekers. We can't see them for now, but luckily we have Rosilius up here, ready to throw his second battle scanner, which should reveal them, unless they have moved far away, which I honestly doubt.
We've got eyes on the AO.
And here they are. One is airborne and therefore a little harder to hit, but the other one is still hovering close to the ground. And that one is also our first target, as we switch Adam Work back to his Reaper rounds infused shotgun, activate run and gun and dash in for 2 79% shots with rapid fire, which actually only results in a marginally higher hit chance compared to a single regular shot, but let's not get nitpicky, the most important thing is that it gets us the kill. And that leaves a single Seeker as what I assume is our final target of this mission. Now Andrea here has a guaranteed kill because of her heat ammo ability. That ability increases her damage output against robotic enemies by 50%, meaning the 4 points from a Shredder rocket would turn into 6 against the Seeker, enough for the kill. However, let's try to do this the old-fashioned way while we can, starting with Shoji-Jang. His shot misses, but holo-targeting once again activates, and that might be of use for Emilia, who is up next and has a 73% chance to hit. Unfortunately though, her shot goes wide as well, so it is now Andrea's turn. We'll be careful here and make sure not to hit anyone else, but that isn't too difficult, and her rocket connects for the kill without issues.
Another one down. Good work, Commander.
And here we are, mission complete, the second melt container is automatically collected and we can head back home.
An impressive effort. I'm glad our troops were able to safely acquire more of the meld.
No promotions this time, but MEC Trooper Mahoney sure did an impressive job and should receive one soon. Our loot from this mission is nothing too impressive. We only obtained 4 weapon fragments, so we might want to try and balance out our use of explosives in the future. Much more importantly, however, we receive 4 scientists as a reward for completing the mission, and we also get a nice 3-point panic reduction in France, while panic in Asia and South America increases. And while we're at it, let's take another quick look at the panic map to see how we're doing. The situation in Europe has calmed down a bit, but if Asia gets hit with an abduction later this month, we will probably be forced to go there, which is honestly perfectly fine with me, as it would allow us to still deploy our satellites with at least a bit of freedom, potentially resulting in 1 or even 2 more continent bonuses at the end of the month. For now though, let's not worry too much about that, instead we can continue scanning and see what comes up next.
Contact detected.
Alright, looks like we're heading back out into the field immediately as we discover a landed UFO in Japan. We are dealing with a large scout here, and the fact that the ship has landed means that we will probably meet some heavy resistance, but also promises a good amount of loot. And because it could become a somewhat lengthy endeavor, we will not squeeze that mission into this episode and instead make the cut right here and continue right where we left off in the next video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then go ahead and leave a thumbs up, that would make me very happy. If you want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course also subscribe if you haven't already, or you can support me on Patreon, which now also grants you access to the brand new Pete Complete Discord. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.